Best Offer Wins, Best Offer Wins, a novel by Marisa Kashino. Print length, 275 pages. Publication date, November 25th, 2025. An insanely competitive housing market. A desperate buyer on the edge. In Marisa Kashino's darkly humorous debut novel, Best Offer Wins, the white picket fence becomes the ultimate symbol of success and obsession. How far would you go for the house of your dreams? 18 months and 11 lost bidding wars into house hunting in the overheated Washington, D.C. suburbs. 37-year-old publicist Margot Miyake gets a tip about the perfect house in the perfect neighborhood, slated to come up for sale in 1 month. Desperate to escape the cramped apartment she shares with her husband Ian, and in turn, get their marriage, plan to have a baby, and whole life back on track, Margot becomes obsessed with buying the house before it's publicly listed and the masses descend. With unbeatable, all-cash offers in hand. A little stalking? Harmless. A bit of trespassing? Necessary. As Margot infiltrates the homeowners' lives, her tactics grow increasingly unhinged, but just when she thinks she's won them over, she hits a snag in her plan. Undeterred, Margot will prove again and again that there's no boundary she won't cross to seize the dream life she's been chasing. The most unsettling part? You'll root for her, even as you gasp in disbelief. Dark, biting, and laugh-out-loud funny, Best Offer Wins is a propulsive debut and a razor-sharp exploration of class, ambition, and the modern housing crisis. Family of Spies, a World War II story of Nazi espionage, betrayal, and the secret history behind Pearl Harbor by Christine Kuehn. Print length, 247 pages. Publication date, November 25th, 2025. A propulsive, never-before-told story of one family's shocking involvement as Nazi and Japanese spies during World War II and the pivotal role they played in the bombing of Pearl Harbor. It began with a letter from a screenwriter, asking about a story. Your family. World War II. Nazi spies. Christine Kuehn was shocked and confused. When she asked her 70-year-old father, Eberhard, what this could possibly be about, he stalled, deflected, demurred, and then wept. He knew this day would come. The Kuehns, a prominent Berlin family, saw the rise of the Nazis as a way out of the hard times that had befallen them. When the daughter of the family, Eberhard's sister, Ruth, met Nazi leader Joseph Goebbels at a party, the two hit it off, and they had an affair. But Ruth had a secret. She was half Jewish, and Goebbels found out. Rather than having Ruth killed, Goebbels instead sent the entire Kuehn family to Hawaii to work as spies half a world away. There, Ruth and her parents established an intricate spy operation from their home, just a few miles down the road from Pearl Harbor, shielding Eberhard from the truth. They passed secrets to the Japanese, leading to the devastating attack on Pearl Harbor. After Eberhard's father was arrested and tried for his involvement in planning the assault, Eberhard learned the harsh truth about his family and faced a decision that would change the path of the Kuehn family forever. Jumping back and forth between Christine discovering her family's secret and the untold past of the spies in Germany, Japan, and Hawaii, Family of Spies is fast-paced history at its finest and will rewrite the narrative of December 7th, 1941. When the Fireflies Dance, a novel. By Aisha Hassan. Print length, 368 pages. Publication date, December 2nd, 2025. Inspired by a shocking true story, this haunting debut novel of love, brotherhood, resilience, and redemption set in Pakistan calls to mind the modern classics The Kite Runner and The Beekeeper of Aleppo. On the outskirts of Lahore, Pakistan, a large yellow moon hung low in the sky when the men came with dogs and guns and cricket bats. In front of his family's small hut on the edge of a looming brick kiln, Lalou's brother was murdered. Unable to escape the memory of that horrible night, Lalou's parents and sisters remain trapped, the kiln chimney churning black smoke into the sky as the family slave, brick by brick, to pay off their debts. To rescue them, Lolu must free himself from his past and carve out his own destiny. The Heir Apparent. Reese's book club pick by Rebecca Armitage. Print length: 409 pages. Publication date: December 2nd, 2025. An irresistible modern fairy tale about a British princess who must decide between her duty to her family or to her own heart. A Reese's book club pick. It's New Year's Day in Australia, and the life Lexi Villiers has carefully built is working out nicely. She's in the second year of her medical residency. She lives on a beautiful farm with her two best friends, Finn and Jack. And she's about to finally become more than friendly with Jack when a helicopter abruptly lands. Out steps her grandmother's right-hand man with the tragic news that her father and older brother have been killed in a skiing accident. Lexi's grandmother happens to be the Queen of England, and in addition to the shock and grief, Lexi must now accept the reality that she is suddenly next in line for the throne, a role she has publicly disavowed. Returning to London as the heir apparent Princess Alexandrina, Lexi is greeted by a skeptical public not ready to forgive her defection, a grieving sister-in-law harboring an explosive secret, and a scheming uncle determined to claim the throne himself. Her recent life and Jack grow ever more distant as she feels the tug of tradition, of love for her grandmother, and of obligation. When her grandmother grants her 1 year to decide, Lexi must choose her own destiny. Will it be determined by an accident of birth or by love? Barbieland. The Unauthorized History by Tarpley Hitt. Print length: 352 pages. Publication date: December 2nd, 2025. The Secret History of Barbie and what Mattel has done to keep her on top. For nearly 7 decades, Mattel billed Barbie as the first adult doll, a revolutionary alternative to the baby dolls before her, which had treated little girls as future mothers rather than future women. But Barbie was no original. She was a knockoff, a nearly identical copy of a German doll now erased from the narrative in favor of Mattel's preferred version of history. It was Barbie's first secret, but far from her last. In Barbieland, journalist and the Drift editor Tarpley Hitt exposes the long-hidden backstory of the world's most famous doll. After snuffing out her predecessor, Barbie climbed to the throne of global girlhood and stayed there, fending off rivals with a mix of strategic marketing, government influence, ruthless litigation, and covert tactics worthy of a classic spy novel. This lively, authoritative ride through the underbelly of American business pulls back the curtain on the corporate titans, cultural influencers, and Toyland rivals who shaped this icon's world, from flawed founder Ruth Handler to convicted Wall Street fraudster and improbable Barbie savior, Michael Milken, to the Bratz doll empire, which once put the brand on life support. Along the way, Hitt delves into the stories of the eccentrics and autocrats who brought Barbie to life through sheer force of will, a pair of ex-Nazi toy makers, a toy mogul friend of J. Edgar Hoover's, a swinging missile designer turned Barbie executive married to Zsa Zsa Gabor, and Mattel's mid-century Freudian marketeer, who saw the doll as a psychosexual skeleton key to controlling the American mind. Through investigative reporting, global archival research, and interviews with key players from across the Barbie extended universe, Barbieland lays bare the unseen and so often absurd. Work that made Mattel a multi-billion-dollar business and turned Barbie into an institution, a symbol as synonymous with American soft power as Coca-Cola and McDonald's French fries. The Living and the Dead, a novel about a crime by Christoffer Carlsson. Part of series. Helen Sweet. Print length: 411 pages. Publication date: December 2nd, 2025. Small towns sometimes have a voice of their own. On a snowy winter night in 1999, Xander and Killian leave a house party together outside a small town in rural Sweden. The very best of friends, the two 17-year-olds imagine they will remain so forever. But by the next morning, a corpse is found in the trunk of a car, and each boy is a suspect in the murder. Each has something they want to conceal from the police and from the other. The hunt for the killer will take more than 20 years. It will see the lead detective leave the force forever. And it won't end until a second body turns up in similar circumstances and the tight-knit community's secrets are finally brought to light. In The Living and the Dead, renowned criminologist Christoffer Carlsson masterfully transports us to the fields and forests of western Sweden, a region of farmers and truck drivers torn apart by economic injustice and self-deceit. A world where the portal between the living and the dead is flung wide open, and where no one is entirely innocent. Canticle, a novel by Janet Rich Edwards. Print length, 413 pages. Publication date, December 2nd, 2025. A masterful debut novel following a spirited young woman's explorations of faith, agency, and love in 13th century Bruges. Elise is 16 years old and unusual, stubborn, bright, and prone to religious visions. She and her only friend, Finn, a young scholar, have been learning Latin together in secret, but just as she thinks their connection might become something more, everything unravels. When her father promises her in marriage to a merchant she doesn't love, she runs away from home, finding shelter among the Beguines, a fiercely independent community of religious women who refuse to answer to the church. Among these hardworking and strong-willed women, Elise glimpses for the first time the joys of belonging, a life of song, meaning, and friendship in the markets and along the canals of Bruges. But forces both mystical and political are at work. Illegal translations of scripture, the women's independence, and a sudden rash of miracles all draw the attention of an ambitious bishop and bring Elise and those around her into ever-increasing danger. A danger that will push Elise to a new understanding of love and sacrifice. Grounded in the little-told stories of medieval women, mystics, saints, anchoresses, and Beguines, and introducing a major new talent, Canticle is a luminous work of historical fiction, vividly evoking a world on the verge of transformation. Cape Fever, a novel by Nadia Davids. Print length, 240 pages. Publication date, December 9th, 2025. From award-winning South African author Nadia Davids comes a gothic psychological thriller set in the 1920s, where a young maid finds herself entangled with the spirits of a decaying manor and the secrets of its enigmatic owner. I come highly recommended to Mrs. Hadding through sentences I tell her I cannot read. The year is 1920, in a small, unnamed city in a colonial empire. Soraya Mattis believes she has found the ideal job as a personal maid to the eccentric Mrs. Hadding, whose beautiful, decaying home is not far from the Muslim quarter where Soraya lives with her parents. As Soraya settles into her new role, she discovers that the house is alive with spirits. While Mrs. Hadding eagerly awaits her son's visit from London, she offers to help Soraya stay in touch with her fiancé Noor by writing him letters on her behalf. So begins a strange weekly meeting where Soraya dictates and Mrs. Hadding writes, a ritual that binds the two women to one another and eventually threatens the sanity of both. Cape Fever is a masterful blend of gothic themes, folktales, and psychological suspense, reminiscent of works by Silvia Moreno Garcia and Daphne du Maurier, and Soraya Mattis is an unforgettable narrator whose story of love and grief is also a chilling exploration of class and the long reach of history. House of Day, House of Night, a novel by Olga Tokarczuk. Print length, 326 pages. Publication date, December 2nd, 2025. A novel about the rich stories of small places from the Nobel Prize, winning New York Times best-selling author of the books of Jacob and Drive Your Plow Over the Bones of the Dead. A woman settles in a remote Polish village where she knows no one. It has few inhabitants, but it teems with the stories of the living and the dead. There's the drunk Marek, who discovers that he shares his body with a bird, and Franz Frost, whose nightmares come to him from a newly discovered planet. There's the man whose death, with one leg on the Polish side, one on the Czech, was an international incident. And there are the Germans who still haunt a region that not long ago they called their own. From the founding of the town to the lives of its saints, these shards piece together not only a history, but a cosmology. Another brilliant, constellation novel in the mode of Tokarczuk's International Booker Prize-winning flights, House of Day, House of Night reminds us that the story of any place, no matter how humble, is boundless. Huguette by Cara Black. Print length, 312 pages. Publication date, December 2nd, 2025. In the lawlessness of post-World War II France, a resilient young woman fights to survive and make a living, no matter the cost, from the New York Times best-selling author of 3 Hours in Paris and the Amy LeDuc series. After liberation, spring 1945, 17-year-old Huguette 4 is a survivor. The war has taken everything from her, both her parents and her sense of safety. Now, pregnant and on the lam, she cannot return to her childhood home in Paris. Forced to reinvent herself, she must outrun her father's enemies, who want her dead. After narrowly avoiding jail time, thanks to the help of a kind-hearted police officer named Claude Leduc, Huguette lands a job assisting a legendary film director. As her role develops from helping him with chores to cooking his books, she sees an opportunity to break free from the ghosts of her past once and for all. In this big-hearted story of resilience, New York Times best-selling author Cara Black offers a wholly original depiction of post-war France, as well as introduces Claude Leduc, the man who decades later inspired his granddaughter, Amy, to become a private investigator.